ATV models as significant as the Raptor 250 only come around every 6 or 8 years. There is perhaps no other sport ATV on the market that appeals to so many types of riders. It provides a great learning platform for some, and the ultimate race machine for others. CT Racing's Raptor 250, featured in the September 2000 issue of Dirt Wheels magazine, is perhaps the ultimate Raptor 250 for the track. The culmination of light, high-tech aftermarket components found on this machine push the CT Raptor 250 to the edge of the envelope when it comes to available performance. Starting off with the lightest full-size sport ATV on the market, weight was taken into consideration as each aftermarket component was added to the Raptor 250, resulting in one of the most nimble ATVs ever to hit the track. Additionally, CT Racing was able to extract more horsepower than we ever imagined from Yamaha's simple air-cooled 2-valve 4-stroke engine. In whoop sections and on tight corners, this lightweight fighter was actually able to make time on 450s. After some track time, CT Racing gave us a rundown as to what all components went into their phenomenal little Raptor.
I'm Alan Knowles from CT Racing. I'm out here at Milestone Motocross Park with this little Raptor 250 that we built for Dirt Wheels magazine and ATV On Demand. We've done a lot of trick stuff for this Raptor 250, from the motor package, suspension, and everything, and I'll just kind of go over what we did with it and what we were trying to do. The theme of this bike was to keep it light, so everything that we could do, we kept on the light side. We started off with the suspension. We went with the Fox Air Shocks. The floats, they're light. They're as light a shock as you're going to get. They're arguably the best shock you can buy. They work extremely well on this bike. We had a lot of top riders on this bike. Romain Capri rode it. You'll see some footage of Romain riding it. Romain's the European champion and multi-time French champion. And Romain had never ridden Fox shocks, and he could not believe how flat the thing stayed in the corners. He thought because they were air shocks they might roll over. This thing surprised the crud out of him. We couldn't get them off. We had to pry them off with a crowbar. The Fox shocks, adjustable compression, adjustable rebound. They come with a couple of pumps, or a pump to change the pressure, low pressure for ride height, high pressure, like adding more spring. So they're very tunable. Real good for light riders because as the rider grows, you can tune it, and they get really good suspension action. Some spring shocks have a little bit of an issue with super light riders, so that's a big plus. So they do a great job with their rear suspension. No complaints on it. Didn't even have anybody tuning on it. We had quite a disparity in rider weight. Adam Campbell riding it, close to 200 pounds. Romain probably 160, and we even had some lighter riders on it. Guys from Dirt Wheels. Nobody really did any suspension tuning on it. It's a phenomenal little package. We went with Lager's long shock, long travel A-arms. Lager's have been the best in the business for years. There's been some issues with Lager being out of business and so forth. Not true. Lager's is sold to a French company. Product still being in the U.S. Still as good a product as is on the market. While we're on the front end, we went with X-Factor, aluminum all the way around. We went with the X-Factor, same thing, light. We wanted the smaller diameter tubing, keeping it light. Same with the Nerf bars. A lot of the Nerf bar companies build the thick wall stuff. The theme of this bike, keeping it light, we really were aggressive on that. Went with a Bling Star stabilizer, same thing, light, simple. It's adjustable. It's all you need for this little thing. Controls, we've got ASV levers on it. We've got streamlined brake lines, universal bars. Universal bars, been around for years. Light bar, got the right bend for this bike, just what we wanted. ASVs, a big choice on the ASVs is a couple reasons. They can't be broke. They'll flip over backwards. They have an Allen bolt right there you can adjust. So you can adjust them for different hand sizes. A little bit on the spendy side, but you'll get over it. Get the best stuff. Streamlined brake lines, got to have stainless brake lines to make positive braking. Spider grips, we really like the Spider grips. They've got they're soft here and they're tough here. They don't tear off the ends. I tend to roll my hands off sometimes, and the grips last. They don't tear up. Work well in the water. As good a grip as there is. Tire wheel combination, we went with the Maxxis Razor Cross fronts. They're only a 19-inch front. Same thing, we wanted a light tire. It's not a big bike. It's a really good tire. Works good on hard pack and soft pack tracks. Very good tire. The backs, we went with the Maxxis tire that is narrow. It's only 8 inches wide. Again, trying to keep the rotating mass light. You've got to, on a bike with not a lot of horsepower, you've got to be very careful with rotating mass. We also went with the Durablu X33 axle. The X33 is quite a few pounds lighter than any other axle on the market, and that's key. You know, rotating mass and overall weight of this bike we keep it down. X33 is just the best way to go for this bike. Picking up an axle, go that way. Now we get to the part of the package that I like talking about. That's the motor. CT Racing, we did a lot of flow bench testing on this head. The stock head has valve guides that protrude way down into the flow path. So we popped those valve guides out, put in a much shorter valve guide, really picked up the flow numbers along with a significant amount of porting to get this head to flow, make the horsepower we were at. We did a lot of cam testing with webcam. We're pushing 30 horsepower with this thing. We developed a CT pipe. We had to build a second version just for this. When we got the horsepower up, we had to go to a bigger head pipe. That's part of the program right here. We've gone to a lot of CT pipes. We use the disc system. This one, we designed this around that. We wanted to keep the thing light, the disc weigh a little bit more, so we went away from that on this particular project. Piston, we use a JE high compression piston. We're running a 13-to-1 compression piston in this thing. We're using a 33 FCR key and carburetor on this thing. It's an expensive carburetor, but it works extremely well, and it's one of the few carburetors that actually fit the bike real well. Just the way the tank is positioned, a lot of the conventional carbs that have the cable poking straight up hit the gas tank. That's a bit of a drama. 33 FCR is working great on this project. We really like it. Crisp, snappy, making the big horsepower. Went with a K&N filter, outerwear. We're looking for the big horsepower. Had to go with the K&N, get everything we could out of this thing. Billy Pointer from Quad Tech built us this seat. Billy does pretty much any color combination you want. He's got the, I call it Bass Boat Red, Metal Flake, Blue, Metal Flake, and all the other current contemporary colors Billy's got. RIS, they built us the billet covers. Got to give it a little bling factor. It's got to look good. A lot of the stuff you see in this bike, we just tricked out. We chromed the stock motor mounts. There's nothing wrong with those. We actually took the stock swing arm, powder coated it, just gave it a look. We didn't extend it. We know a lot of guys are building longer swing arms. We can't figure out a reason to do it. You lengthen it out, and it tends to spin the tires a bit. This bike doesn't need it. It's not particularly wheelie prone, so don't waste a bunch of money stretching the thing out.
During the several days that we spent with this project ATV, we saw many 450s gunned down by the little Raptor 250. In conclusion, CT Racing's Raptor 250 project would provide the ultimate platform for the lightweight, production-aged racer, or for an adult looking for a sleeper quad he can sneak out to the track and pound some 450s with.